Hello, friends. It has been so long since I have. My lighting is so bad here. It's been so long since I've done reading sprints. Um, my school had to close because of really cold temperatures. It's in the negatives here. I think it was like -10 this morning. And then there was a water main break. So we had an asynchronous day. So I just got done with my office hours. And now I get to read. And not that I'm happy that it's freezing out or that there's a water main break, but I am happy that I get extra time reading Onyx Storm. I feel like I need to move to where like you can actually see me. Anyways, drop in the comments what you're going to be reading, what you're going to be doing if you're not reading. You don't have to be reading Onyx Storm to join these sprints. That's just what I'm reading, and I feel like a lot of people are reading right now. But let me know. I'm gonna maybe possibly move my computer because I feel like I'm extremely dark where I'm sitting. Okay, maybe I just have to turn the other way. That's not that bad. Go over here in front of the window. That's better. Now you can see me. Okay. See who's here. Wendy's here. Hi, Wendy. You're, of course, reading Onyx Storm. I kind of figured that. I think you were talking last night, Wendy, what you rated Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I rated... What did I rate? I rated Fourth Wing 5 stars. I know that. But I don't remember what I rated Iron Flame. Fourth Wing was 5 stars for me. What was Iron Flame? Iron Flame was a 4, which I feel like is kind of on par with everybody's thinking. So I feel like, not spoilery, but I feel like you have to read Onyx Storm, and I think somebody said this last night on Jordan Sprints. I feel like you have to read Onyx Storm pretty slow, or like really take note of what you're reading, because there's a lot of information being thrown at me and a lot of names. So I'm trying to remember who's who, like what's actually even going on, where they're at, all of that stuff. But I'm still enjoying it. Yvette's here. She's working, but one at the company. Hey, here to give you company. I actually was gonna not be reading the first sprint. I was gonna be working on my master's assignments, but I actually got pretty much all of them done. I just have one more to do, and I needed a break, so I'm gonna read. But welcome. Hope to get to Onyx Storm tonight. I'm on chapter 6. I don't know why I do this. I always pre-order books from Barnes & Noble, like the exclusive editions. I ordered, what was it last year that I ordered? I actually think it was Peking Duck and Cover, which is like the newest release of the Noodle Shop Mystery Series books. And that was an exclusive edition. It was just a regular, like, mass market paperback, but I pre-ordered it. And it came 2 days later, which wasn't a big deal because I'm still not even on that one. But I pre-ordered Onyx Storm a year ago, or whenever the heck you were able to pre-order it, the exclusive Barnes edition, and it's not coming till Saturday, which I didn't have time to go to a store. The only like place that probably would have had it around me is Walmart, but I feel like everybody probably was running there to get it, so I'm still glad I pre-ordered it and didn't just do like Amazon or try to go somewhere. But like, thank God I ended up spending it came out to be like $15 on Kindle to get it, because I'm like, I want to read it with everybody else and I want to start it, but I'm not waiting until Saturday. So I literally ended up spending an extra $15, but I'll still have the pretty edition to sit on my shelves with the other two. But like, why do you even pre-order? I don't understand. I get it. Like, they're probably trying to send out so many books, but whatever. Where was I at? Betsy's here. Hello. I'm currently on chapter 9 of Onyx Storm. How are you liking it? Hi, Faith. I don't read fantasy, but I'll be listening to Death Do Us Part for Paw Print Pals Book Club. I want to read that one. I've seen everybody posting their little pictures of it in the um, Discord, and I want to get to that one. So you'll have to let me know how you're liking that one. A lot of Onyx Storm so far is referencing things we learned in Iron Flame. Super glad I did a reread. Yeah, I didn't get to do a reread, which I really wanted to do a reread, but I just didn't have time because I was reading other things. But there is this for anybody who is planning to read Onyx Storm and maybe didn't do a reread, or like you're reading Onyx Storm and you're like, I'm still confused. There is, I'll have to tag it or I'll post it somewhere. Where did it go? Onyx Storm, no. There's this lady, her name is Beckel Books on YouTube, and she did a whole entire recap of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. It's 47 minutes long, but I listened to it yesterday, and she goes like pretty much in depth about everything that happened in each book. So I watched that before I started Onyx Storm, so it kind of refreshed my memory. But if anybody's interested in that, if you don't have time to reread them, or if you just need like a little bit of a refresher, I'll post that somewhere because it was pretty good. Oh, I just read that one. I gave 6 stars to Fourth Wing and 5 to Iron Flame. I don't think it was as good as the first, but still had a great time reading the book. Yeah, that's understandable. I feel like that's pretty much how everybody's went. Generally speaking, like looking at ratings, I think most people rated Fourth Wing very high. Not that Iron Flame is not high, but didn't hit the same mark. I heard people at my book club last night pre-ordered this book also and didn't get it yet. My Barnes & Noble had a ton in stock when I saw people posting, so they were mad. Yeah, a lot of my one friend, I mean, she doesn't live near me anymore, but she posted that she went to Barnes & Noble and there were so many of them. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, I get like they don't want them to get like they're early maybe, but like if you know that the book is coming out on the 21st and you already have them in possession, obviously, why don't you ship them out 2 days earlier so that they get to everybody? And if they get there a day early, they get there a day early because most times in stores people are already getting their books or they put them out early. So I don't know. It's just so weird how things like that work, but I don't think I'm going to be pre-ordering from Barnes & Noble anymore. I'm either going to just try to get the book like by going there and getting it, or I think most people who ordered on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, had already gotten it. Like I said, not that big of a deal if it's like 2 days off, but like if I'm paying money to pre-order something, I don't want to have to wait a week later to get it when I'm paying for it to get here. I guess maybe it's just like you're pre-ordering to make sure you get a copy, not really necessarily on the release date. I don't know. I don't know how those things work. That's why I don't pre-order from Barnes, because I did that once and they don't guarantee same-day release delivery, so never again for me. Yeah. I also bought from Barnes because Amazon was canceling some pre-orders. They both ended up shipping. I didn't catch this last night. I know you said something about the Audible credit and that you were returning that. So are you going to send the Amazon one back, or are you just going to like keep both of them? What are you going to do? I'm loving it so far, but I'm taking my time reading it like everyone else, mainly to savor it since I know the next one won't be for a little bit. I'm also loving how my font is so small. I'm loving how Take Charge Violet is in it, yes. You could definitely tell that she's a little different than the last one, and something just happened in chapter 5 where you can really tell she's taking charge. Amazon pre-order came on release day. My only reasoning for it was to make sure I got a deluxe edition. Yeah, same. Like when it was Barnes exclusive edition, I'm like, I want a pretty one. Which I actually don't even know if my Iron Flame. I know my fourth wing isn't, but I don't remember if my Iron Flame is one. I lent it to a friend, so I don't currently have it. But I actually think Onyx Storm might be the only exclusive one I have, which is really sad. I'm just going to return the Barnes one. Yeah. Well, at least you have a copy. Let's do. Why don't we read? We'll just do an hour, so we'll read till 40, or do we just want to read till... Okay, it's almost 1. I hate trying to think of how long. I want to do a longer sprint because I want to give time to get into it. So let's do that. Let's read until... hide this. Guys, it's been so long since I've been on here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. We'll read until the 45 mark. I know it's 42. That gives us like an hour, and then we'll come back and chit chat. So it's 12:42 my time, so like 1:45. I don't know what time zone you're in, but let's do that. And I have like a fourth wing studying in Basgaya ambiance that I'm gonna share. Hey, welcome back. How did everybody do that sprint? I believe that Onyx Storm is like 500 and some pages. I keep getting 544. But since I'm reading it on the Kindle, it's showing me 754. So I'm not exactly sure at what page I'm on. On my Kindle, I'm on page 112, but I just got to chapter 9. So I read 3 or 4 chapters that sprint. There's just a lot happening in this one. And I'm following along, I'm understanding what's happening. But there's just a lot happening. So let me know how you did that sprint. There was oh my god. Sorry. I have to hide that one. I want this to scroll. There we go. I saw that there was a few people that popped in. Betsy said she loves the ambiance. I thought it was very fitting. Keisha was here. She's at work, but wanted to pop in and say hi. I hope you're having the best day at work. I miss you bunches. Hi, Amber. You're reading Onyx Storm. Thanks for joining. I gave Fourth Wing and Iron Flame 5 stars. I love that. You weren't here. I don't know if you watched back when I said I gave Fourth Wing 5 and Iron Flame 4. But I loved both of them. So, and I'm enjoying Onyx Storm so far. I'm very interested to see how this one's going to play out. But I'm liking it so far. Hi, Krina. Thanks for joining. She also is at work, not reading, but wanted to pop in and say hello. I hope your workday is going good. 2-hour delay tomorrow for us. I swear we will just never have school again. I felt like that. So I literally had, I'm opening this window a little bit. I was on Christmas break from the 23rd maybe, or the December 20th. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think it was the 20th because I went away for a trip. So from December 20th all the way until January 6th, we were supposed to go back on the 6th. And we got like a crazy snowstorm, and then we had delays, and then there was ice. So like my first week back after Christmas break was like not even a week back. And then this week we had snow, day closed on Monday, and then delays the past 2 days, which like I said, today we ended up closing because of a water main break, or we would have went in after a 3-hour delay. But it's just crazy. Like this winter, it seems like is hitting a little earlier than last year did. Do you guys have to make up for them at the end of the year if you go over the allotted amount? Yes. So we actually had 2 traditional snow days where we just closed. So I actually was supposed to have school on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We would have originally been off, but since we had a snow makeup day, that's when we would have made it up. But we had oh my gosh. We had so much snow. So on Friday, we were told to send Chromebooks home. So we were able to still have a virtual day on Monday. And then President's Day, I believe, is the other day where we originally had off, but we have to make up that snow day. So I think schools, at least in Pennsylvania or where I'm at, schools are allowed 5 flexible instruction days, or FID days, I think they call them. So you can have like 2 days virtual or up to 5 days virtual. And then any other ones you have to close if you have to miss. And then those are the ones that you make up. So they'll usually add them on at the end of the year or take away those like holiday days. It's weird how they work. Like currently my last day, because we're not making any up at the end of the year so far, my last day with students is May 31st. So like I don't mind if they add them on at the end of the year, because what's like ending June 3rd or June 5th? Like it's 2 days, but We do have to make them up. Hi, I'm new and I just got here. Hopefully, I'm not too late. You're not. We only did one reading sprint. Thanks for joining. Did you just like stumble upon this on YouTube? You'll have to let me know how you came to join. But thanks for joining. Amber got to chapter 9. Okay, so we're like right at the same spot. How's Onyx Storm? I'm personally reading it. I've never read the first book. I've not even read the first book, but I'm reading the Thursday Murder Club at the moment. Okay. Onyx Storm is good. It's just a lot of information. So you definitely have to kind of go in with a fresh mind from what happened at the first two books before you go into this one. But it's pretty good. I mean, this series seriously is just written so well. It's just so good. But the Thursday Murder Club, how are you liking that? I've tried reading that series. I only tried the first book a couple years ago, and I just couldn't get into it. So I DNF'd that one. But I know a lot of people that love that one. So you'll have to let me know how you're liking it. Wendy got to chapter 24. You are flying through this. I made it to chapter 11. There's a lot more going on in this book compared to the first two. Yeah, definitely agree with that. It was good, and I'm really enjoying it. There's so much going on. I know. It's like this person's going there, and this person has to do this, and then they're all fighting, and I'm like, I can't keep up with what's happening. We have a set amount of snow days, and then we do have to make up in the summer. We reach our snow day limits, now we're making them up in the summer. Yeah, I guess everywhere is different on how they kind of like make those up. COVID really started the virtual instruction days, and it seems so weird that like before that, like you had your snow days and then you had your makeup days, but I don't know. I kind of like that we can still make them count, but I'm reading an old Nora Roberts called Black Hills. Almost done with it. Nice. Thanks for joining, Sherry. What's Fourth Wing about? I'm really scared to read it, mostly because it's a hyped book, and I've not liked many books that are too hyped. Well, are you normally a fantasy reader? I feel like Fourth Wing is good for fantasy readers, but I don't think it's kind of I don't know if it's a book that like you should start off with if you're first getting into fantasy. Basically, there's a war college and they are I just described this to somebody else last night and I was like it's so much more than that, but like I don't know how to even describe it without giving too much away. So, synopsis of Fourth Wing is Violet Sorengale, a young woman who is forced to join the Dragon Riders Quadrant at Basgiath War College. The story follows Violet as she trains to become a dragon rider and navigates a dangerous and competitive environment. But like it's so much more than that. There is like a little bit of a romance in it, but I don't know. It's just so good and like the dragons can talk to the people that they pair with, like their riders through their minds. I don't know, it's just so good. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, so definitely try it. Would you believe that Scotland has been warm this week? We've had snow warnings for the top of Scotland, but where I live, no snow. It's so weird. Isn't it so weird how like things like that work? Where I used to live, we would get rain in my backyard, and my grandmother lived 2 doors over, and I'm not even kidding you. We would have rain in our backyard, but she would not have rain in her backyard. It's the strangest thing. But we are literally in negative temps, so I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore. I love joining random reading sprints live because I love talking to new people, so I found this one randomly. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. That's understandable. I get that it's not for everyone, but I'm like 40-something pages away from the end, and I can 100% say it's going to be a 5-star for me. Well, awesome. I'm really glad that you're liking it. Like I said, I know a lot of people that have read that and really liked that series as a whole. Fourth Wing is the first fantasy I ever read, and now I'm a full fantasy lover. Okay, so take it from Wendy, Super Rouge 5000. That maybe you should try it. She read it, now she's a full fantasy person. I started fantasy with like, besides Harry Potter, which I feel like that is fantasy, but like, A Court of Thorns and Roses is what got me like really hooked on fantasy, which I feel like is so basic, and it like a lot of people say that, but um I feel like Fourth Wing is a good way to start too because it doesn't have that heavy world building like right in the first book. This third book, there's a lot happening, but it's a lot easier to follow when you had already had that context and content from book 1 and book 2. Fourth Wing is basically military school of dragons, magic, and romance. Yeah. Like, I love when I'm reading a fantasy book and people are like, what is it about? I'm like, I don't know. Vampires that are like into each other. Like, it's just weird explaining books that you're reading. Everybody gets that. That is so true, Wendy. Such an easy way to explain it. Yeah. You just call me Rouge if you want, and you're the other people who got Rouge right. People kept Rogue. All right. Well, that was a pretty decent sprint. I feel like it was hold on. Would it appeal to somebody who normally reads high fantasy reader? I mean, are you used to reading like I feel like why Fourth Wing really took off is because it was a little easier to understand for a lot of people getting into fantasy, but also for the girlies who like fantasy because there is that romance in it. I personally have never read, not that I wouldn't enjoy it, I just personally never read high fantasy. Um, the only series I've really read were like A Court of Thorns and Roses, half of Throne of Glass, obviously Fourth Wing series. I've read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Um, but like I said, I've never read high fantasy in the sense of there's extreme world building and a lot of political things. I'm trying to think of like I feel like there is one that I read that's what's the Thunderhead one? I can't remember the first book in that series. And Scythe. I read that one. I feel like that's not super high, but I don't know. I would say yes, the first isn't super political, but the second two pick up a lot in the war on politics. Yeah. That's why I feel like the first one is easy to get into and understand, but like I say, things progress. Like this third one, like you really have to be focusing on like what's happening. Hi, Tammy. I'm so happy you're doing sprints. I have been loving Onyx Storm so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. I feel like everybody that's reading it is generally saying the same things. So I'm really excited to see once I finish and once I can read spoilery things, um, what everybody thought of it. I read Brandon Sanderson and Stephen King, and oh my god, this font is so small. And it's anyone has read any of those two authors, their stories are very complex and long. Yeah, I've never read Brandon Sanderson. I have read 2 of Stephen King's books. Those aren't the only authors I read. I'm just using them as an example. Totally get that. I mean, yeah, maybe just try it, read Fourth Wing, and see what you think. I don't know if you have a Kindle or Kindle Unlimited, but I believe Fourth Wing and Iron Flame are now on Kindle Unlimited. At least they were. But doesn't hurt to try. I was going to say something and I just completely blanked. But let's read. It's 2:00 my time. So let's maybe read. We'll read to the 45 mark. And then we'll chit chat, and then I'll probably hop off to eat some lunch. And like I said, I have some master's homework to do, but I really wanted to have this a lot of time to like sit down and just focus on Onyx Storm before I go to yoga later. So let's read to 45 mark again, and then we'll come back and check in. Okay, we're back. How did everybody do that sprint? I made it to chapter 11, so I'll just be starting chapter 11 now. Chapter 10, what? I'm like, it's hard for me to understand what is happening in this book because there's so much happening, like I said earlier. I'm getting a little overwhelmed, which the first two books were so good and so easy for me to follow. And this one, I think my issue is there's just so many people and they're all at different places. So I have to keep going back because I forgot that I took this. And they're not all listed here either. But at the beginning of the book, there is. Hold on. I always hate when I do this and you can't freaking see what I'm sharing. There is this map at the beginning of the book, and it talks about their names, who they're bonded to, and their signet. And it goes through 2nd Squad, Flame Section, 4th Wing, and the world leaders. But like I'm not remembering like where things are at in location to each other. I don't know. So it's taking me a lot. But at the end of chapter 10, something like wild happens and I'm just like flabbergasted and I need to read more. But how did everybody else do? I also ate some mini muffins because I got hungry and ended up scrolling for a little bit. I have been better at trying to focus on reading more in place of screen time because I have been spending way too much time on my phone now that I've had like days off because I can only do so many things. So I'm really trying to be better and more mindful at reading instead of scrolling, which I haven't used TikTok in a while. And sorry, I'm just watching the Amazon guy deliver and I don't know if anything's coming here, but homeboy has like 17 packages in his hand. Also, he could see right through the window. So this is really awkward. Okay, it's going to my neighbor's house. I did order a hatch alarm, but like I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Anyways, sorry, I get like really I get so anxious and like embarrassed. I don't know, Kaya. Oh, my dog's barking. Anyways, I canceled Amazon Prime because I'm trying to save money, and then I ended up Kaya, Marie, get over here. Ended up buying a hatch alarm. Anyways, sorry, tangent. What was I saying? I don't remember. That was just a long spiel. God, what was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, oh, before I get to Hannah, I was saying I'm trying to spend more time reading instead of scrolling on my phone, which before TikTok was banned for like, I don't know, the 7 hours it was banned or however long, I deleted it like 2 weeks in advance because I'm like, I'm spending way too much time on this. Well, then I got stuck on Instagram Reels. So now I've just been scrolling on there. So I'm really trying to be better at not spending as much time on my phone, journaling more. I was working out consistently. I just had like a stomach bug or something going on for like the past 2 days, so I didn't really do anything for the past 2 or 3 days, but I've been pretty good at all of my like goals for this year, and I think why I've been pretty good at it is I've set them very small goals that are achievable and attainable and that I can keep increasing throughout the year. And I only set my reading goal at 12 books, which is 1 book a month. Because last year I set it at 75, which I ended up surpassing, but I was like addicted to trying to reach that goal. Whereas like this year, I'm already on book 6. I know I'm going to reach it, and then I'll just see what I end up the year with. Anyways, let's get into the comments. Hannah's here. Hi, Hannah. Finally made it. Sitting down to read Iron Flame, 40 pages in. Yes, Hannah, you are going to love that one. What did you rate 4th Wing? You'll have to let me know. Hi, Hannah. Yes, we want to know how you're liking Iron Flame. Hi, Grace. Listening to another book, but happy to be here. Well, I'm happy you're here. What are you reading? Let us know. Sorry, just now joining, but getting ready to start reading in chapter 14, Onyx Storm. Awesome. So you're a little ahead of me. I guess I might not have gotten to that comment yet, but how far did you get? Thanks for joining. Got to chapter 26. Yay, Hannah, I hope you love it. Don't judge the series by the tone, though, if you don't. Yeah. Iron Flame was a little different than Fourth Wing. I feel like everybody generally says that. I didn't do any reading. I was working on my jigsaw. I hate when you have so much of the same color in the pictures. It gets so confusing. Yeah. I don't think I haven't done a puzzle in a long time, but I definitely get that. I've been addicted to color by number on my Fire tablet. Like at night, if I have an audiobook, I'll just keep painting away. I just got to chapter 11. Amber, me and you are on the same reading pace right now. We're at the same spot. What were your thoughts with the end of chapter 10? Also, I can already tell you guys that I'm going to start to get awkward soon because I see the mailman now across the street. So I'm sorry my dog is just barking at absolutely everything. Kaya, come here. Come here. How about instead of barking, we say hi to everyone? No, well, now you're going to bark because you see the mailman. If the window's open at all, she'll literally just sit here and bark. She is the nosy neighbor. Aren't you? Yeah, you're the nosy neighbor. It gets easier, Gabby. The first part is a lot of info thrown at you. I'd say around 30%. I was good. Yeah. Like I said, it's just a lot of people, I think. And trying to remember where they're at is hard because they're all trying to connect. I don't want to spoil anything, but they're trying to connect all of the worlds or like places that they're at. And I don't have a map to look at. So it's getting a little confusing, but I hope that it gets a little easier. Like I said, even on chapter 11, it's starting to get a little bit easier. I thought you said you bought a hamster on Amazon. No, a Hatch alarm clock. I've been wanting one for a while, and I canceled Amazon Prime, and then I got gift cards for Christmas for there. So I only had to pay. I got the first one, not the newest one. I just got the original Hatch One Restore, whatever it's called. And I only had to pay $20, so that was nice. But I don't think that's coming for a few days. I rated Fourth Wing all the stars. I loved it. I'm liking this one so far too. Lots of new characters. Yeah. Honestly, like I said, in the other books, it didn't have a character map like this one did. But maybe even create a character map with you or for yourself because it will be a little easier once you even get into Onyx Storm if you plan to read that one next. Because I didn't have one of those for the last one, but there are more characters in Iron Flame, and this one has a lot more characters. So, and some of them aren't even listed on this thing. That's what I've done this year. I set my book goal last year to 27 books, and I surpassed that by a lot. I read 219 books. That's awesome, but 90% of them were manga. Hey, still counts. Even like people that read audiobooks, and they're like, that doesn't count as reading. Yes, it does, and manga counts too. Even graphic novels count. Oh my god, your dog is so cute. What kind of dog is that? She is a Pomeranian mixed with a Shiba Inu. I was also a bit confused of what was happening at the end of chapter 10. Yeah. And I don't know, but I'm just like, what? There's so much going on and people, just so many to remember. Yeah, characters. I agree. That's why, like I said, and the character list at the beginning of the book really only has like the main people. Like it has Violet and Xaden, Imogen, like Rhiannon, Sawyer, Riddick, Sloane. It has all of them and all of their bonded dragons, and then it has all their signets, and then the world leaders. But like some people aren't on here. Like some of the people that are higher up, or like Dane isn't on here. I know he's from the first book, like, and continues on in the series. So like some of them aren't listed here. So that's why I should probably start writing them down and like where they're at and how these places are connected. I'm sure there's one floating somewhere out there, so I'll have to look that up. But I don't know. I mean, it's still sorry. People are asking me if I like Red Velvet. It's still good. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still following along. It's just a little hard to remember. All right. I know I said that was gonna be. You could probably Google a map. Yeah, I'm sure somebody has created one already, especially with like the hype of this book and like how many people are reading this or how many people have read it early. I'm sure there is one. I'm gonna look that up actually. Um. Okay. I'm surprised there isn't one in the books. I mean, maybe I just don't recall. Maybe there is. Like this one has a map of the War College of just Biscayev, but I want one of like what is it, Navarre? I also love the videos that are like I love the videos that are like me reading a fantasy and it's like me sitting in like just saying random words because I never know how to pronounce anything. I never use maps like ever, but today I actually looked at it and it helped. It's in the book. It's on the front cover of the actual hardcover. See, the only thing I got with this, actually, did I get a map? And I just was like, I'm not going to use that. I might be lying. There might be a map on here. Let me look. Okay, I'm on chapter 11. No, that's not what I want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't get a map. I just got on the Kindle. It doesn't show you the map, it just shows you the characters. So I'm assuming the book, once I actually get it in, will have that, but I don't know. Okay, had to get back on my spot. I'll look one up. I'm sure there's one. Like, oh, here's one. Like, it has, I don't know how accurate it is, but it has Navarre, it has Promule. I don't even know how to pronounce them. The Barons. I'm going to save it. I don't know. Again, don't know how accurate it is, but we're gonna try. That was gonna be my last sprint. Um, but I really want to read like 2 more chapters. So why don't we? It's 2:58 my time. Why don't we do a shorter sprint and just read to the 30 mark? And then we'll come back and wrap it up because I really want to at least get through this next chapter because what happened in chapter 10, I need to know what's happening because it left kind of confusing. So let's read to 30 mark and then we'll come back and wrap things up.
You'll be back! Emus can't help people customize and save with Liberty Music.
Okay, how did everyone do? Apologize for one, the ad in that ambiance. And I also, like, towards the end of it, it says rain ambiance, and I thought I clicked on that, but I didn't. And I didn't realize the music changed. So at one point it got, like, pretty intense. um, I don't know what chapter I'm on. I think I'm on chapter 12, and I'm about halfway through it. I'm just going to make a general statement here. Zayden Ryerson, I love you. I just can, and the things that I'm highlighting and the quotes that I'm highlighting, I'm really enjoying this. But how did everybody else do? I know. I always try to like play them for a while before I know that I'm going to be going on sprints to make sure that they don't have ads, or I'll look up ones that aren't supposed to have ads, but apparently this one did. I've nearly finished my jigsaw now, but my back is hurting so badly, so I think I'm going to stop there for today and make some dinner. What are you going to have for dinner? It will be a bit late. It's 8:30 p.m. for me, but better late than never, I guess. Hey, we've all been there. I'm on chapter 18 now. I'm struggling with it, so I'm going to put it down now and pick it back up later. Were you reading Onyx Storm, Tina? I can't remember. Yes, okay. I thought so. Yeah, you really have to be locked in to read Onyx Storm. So, hopefully you're able to pick it back up later. I had my headphones on with my volume. Oh no. Yeah, sorry. I even turned down like the video volume so that the music wasn't as loud. I hate when that happens though. In the middle of 26. Made it to page 108 and loving it. Thanks for joining, Hannah. I'm glad you're loving Iron Flame, though. Claps to that. Crap has hit the fan. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so nervous of what, like, how this book is gonna end. When I finished Iron Flame, I kid you, I probably sat there like this for the longest time. And now I'm so nervous how this one's gonna end. I don't know how it's gonna end. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I got halfway through chapter 12 and have a few pages left. Amber, I just love that me and you, like, are on the same wavelength, like, with our reading pace. We're gonna have to message because I feel like we're gonna probably finish this book if we, like, are able to sit down around the same times and read. Like, our thoughts and, like, the parts that we're at, because I think I'm halfway through 12 too. It's hard for me to tell because I'm on my Kindle. But it says I'm on page 149, which that's kind of off because I'm on the Kindle, but um I love this. I love it so much. I'm on page 103. I'm thinking of having pasta with, did you mean fried egg? A fired egg? I don't know what a fired egg is. Did you mean fried egg? It's in my current food obsession. I love getting in food obsessions. My current food obsession is an apple cinnamon rice cake with peanut butter. I don't know, it's so plain Jane, but I love it. I'm really loving this. Me too. I'm loving every second of this book, though. I know. I just need to sit here with an ambiance solo, though, because I literally feel like I'm there. How long with Onyx Storm? Yeah, 545. My everything I look up says 544, but I don't know like what that probably counts a lot of the other pages within it. So 527. My Kindle shows 700 some because I'm reading on the Kindle, so it counts more pages. We really are on the same pace. I know. Like every time we've checked back in, we're at the same exact place. In the book, it's 527 pages. Okay. So if you're on page 103, then I'm really not on page one, whatever I think. So that's why I hate reading on a Kindle, though, because I get uh, confused. I meant fried egg. Yeah, sorry. No worries. I know what you meant, but I didn't know, like, is there actually a thing as, like a fired egg? Because I could see, like, people, like, you never know these days. But that sounds good. Y'all are making me want to add it to my TBR. Fantasy isn't my thing, though. Help, will I like it? Okay, here's what I always say. Fantasy is hard to get into, but I feel like you need a specific type of fantasy. Try Fourth Wing. If you don't like Fourth Wing, I wouldn't continue on in the series, but try Fourth Wing. And even if you're like, I don't know if I could do this, just push through it because I promise you, you will like it. And if you don't continue on. Fantasy's tricky like that, and there's some people who just don't read fantasy. Like I'm not a big nonfiction reader. I'm can do historical fiction, and I love the historical fiction books that I read, but I'm also picky about what type of historical fiction books I read. I can't do horror. Like everybody just has their own things. So, just try Fourth Wing. Even those who don't read fantasy have often loved it. Yeah, and it doesn't take like a lot to get into it. It doesn't take a lot to understand the first book. If you like romance, Sydney, there's still romance in here. I feel like if you like romance, it'd be romanticy. Kindle, I was going to say the same thing, Wendy. Kindle Unlimited has the first two free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle and you have a Kindle Unlimited, download Fourth Wing so that you're not buying the book. Try it out. See what you think. And then maybe you'll really like it. I don't know. Have you read any other fantasy books, Sydney? Have you read like high fantasy, or have you just read like romantasy books? You'll have to let me know. I mean, I'll think of a way to make a fired egg. I think the reason Fourth Wing works for some people who don't love fantasy is because it's people and not a lot of other creatures. Yeah. Like it's literally only and it's like in some, like the Serpent in the Wings of Night has vampires, but then a human. But then there's like other things trickled without that, and like heavy magic. A Court of Thorns and Roses has fairies and fae and like all that other stuff. Fourth Wing literally has normal people who get signets from these dragons. So it's not crazy different creatures and like it's just so good. It is so good. The way it's written is so good. The characters, I you love each and every one of them. Well, not every one of them, but like the ones that you're not supposed to like, you don't like for a good reason. Like it's just so good. So try it. Yeah, easier for people to get into. It doesn't have that like heavy world building. In a sense it does, but like some places or some fantasy books you literally have to know where like this place is at and this place and this place and this place, but this place is fighting with this place, which kind of how it is in this one. This is the third book, so you get all of that slowly within the first two. Whereas like some fantasy books just like throw you in and they're like, here is 75 different places on this map that you need to know and 70 people that have names that you can't pronounce. Whereas fourth wing isn't like that. I have KU. I'm currently reading the Ravenhood series. Okay. Yeah, definitely download Fourth Wing. Just try it out. If you like it, you'll have to let me know if you decide to read it and what you think. But it doesn't hurt to try, especially because it's free on there. Like I said before, I do love fantasy, but the older I'm getting, the more fussy I am with what I like. I'm burnt out of YA fantasy. I'll still reread it sometimes, but not as often as when I was younger. Yeah, definitely understandable. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for joining. This was fun. I have not hosted sprints. Ooh, hold on. Books with dragons and stuff more so confuse me. I think that's why I don't like it. I struggle to make the connections and get lost. Yeah, this one's really not like that. Um, well, the first book, I should say, because the dragons, in a sense, are like people, and I know that's really weird, but they can talk. I don't know. I You just have to try it. Like it is so good. And the two dragons, the two main dragons that you like hear from a lot or see a lot, I love so much. They're so funny. But like I said, this has been fun. Thank you so much for joining. I have not done sprints or anything in literally months. So it was nice to have a day off to be able to just sit and read. I'm going to go probably read more while I'm walking on the walking pad because I need to get myself up and moving. But thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have a good rest of your day and that you enjoy the books that you're reading. And I will see you next time. Bye.